Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Hello, everyone, and my name is Pixel, and we are Ages of Einor, and welcome to the 12th episode of Ages of Einor presents The Regent of Bedegar. We are back once again with our bevy of Bedegarian adventurers, and we are super excited for this follow-up campaign to the Siege of Castle Rend. If you've missed the Siege of something strange has happened. Hang on a second. Apparently all of our alerts have been upside down for a while, and I had no idea. And we're just gonna boop. I just saw the
Stranger
resub.
Things.
Very, very odd. I just saw the resub and. Okay, hopefully that's close to right. Anyway. Anyway, so we're well into this adventure. If you've missed the previous one, you don't necessarily need to watch it to understand what's going on, but you can watch it on YouTube. I will be your dungeon master this evening for this adventure. And as always, we want to shout out that you can find this adventure in the supplement for 5e called Kingdoms in Warfare by MCDM. Both the adventure and the book are a follow-up to their first book, Strongholds of Valors. As always, we're going to get into the game here in just a few minutes, but before we do, we're going to go over our usual housekeeping things. But given that we are 12 episodes in to this, and there were however many episodes of the previous campaign, we're going to keep it extra brief, but just in case anybody's new, folks on map screens, try not to spoil things. You are seeing the GM stuff. Players may be in Twitch chat. So if you see any horrible monsters that the players haven't noticed yet, they'll usually either be grayed out or semi-transparent. Don't talk about them. We don't want to spoil things for our adventurers. Second, don't freak out about rules, please. There's a lot of them in this game, and we're also making shit up all the time. So I may change things in the adventures of the rules or whatever. But don't lose your mind about it. This is we do our best to have fun, and that's way more important than making sure we do every rule right. Third, this is an open and welcoming space, so we do try to keep that internet toxicity bullshit out of here. Never usually a problem with you guys, but we always want to make sure we explain that we don't put up with people being wangrods in chat. So whether you're being mean to other viewers or players regarding things like knowledge of the game or the rules, character choices, or really, frankly, anything else, again, y'all are great, but we do like to give that heads up ahead of time. And finally, a reminder, we do release a show on YouTube and as a podcast after each episode during the following week. So if you miss an episode or have to miss part of it, don't fret, you can still catch it after the fact if you need to be caught up for the next week if you want to watch live. And then last thing, as always, before we get started, we are going to go around and cast. If you'd please introduce yourselves and your characters and remind us whether or not you have chat inspiration, starting with a bonus bomb.
Hey there, everybody. Hey, kiddos. I am Bonus Mom, and I am playing Perdita, the Tabaxi rogue. And of course, because I was not prepared and was not thinking it through, I don't have my character sheet up. So could you move ahead and I will catch up?
Sure. Kyla.
Hey, friends. Sorry, I'm Kyla, and I am playing Shanty, who is our Water Genasi bard and druid in the party. And camera might move around a lot tonight. I am currently very pregnant and trying to get comfortable and doing my best. But I'm happy to have you all here, so thank you.
And
Excellent.
Do you have chat inspiration?
Damn, I forgot. I don't think so, but I will double check because I
not.
also forgot to get my character sheet up because I'm doing great.
Okay. Bonus Mom does not.
Let this be a quick announcement to everyone else in the cast. You have the next 30 seconds to remember if you have chat inspiration or not. Starting with Daniel.
Oh, cool. Goody. Glad to be back. I'm Daniel. I'm playing Solomon, the paladin, and we'll see what happens. Oh, I have nothing. Nothing at all. No inspiration,
Okay.
no chat inspiration, no spell slots, nothing.
Oof, we are. It's been a long little adventure here in this in the Star
I'm
Chamber, which we'll
sorry.
talk about here in a moment. Beast.
What's up, y'all? I'm Beast. I'm playing Tiskers, the Tabaxi Valor Bard. And I have chat inspiration. I don't have bardic inspiration, but I'll give that to myself. So don't worry about it.
Excellent. And of course, we have Jesse.
Sorry, I was just updating my community post over at You Might Be a D&D, telling everybody we are live over here. I am Jesse. I am also the guy who runs that little channel sometimes, so that's fun. I play Silas, the blade singing wizard extraordinaire. I am fully inspired, both DM and chat, so that is very nice. And I'm ready to see what this monster's about. I think he's looking kind of sexy, so.
Oh, excellent. And of course, Taylor.
Hi, friends. I'm Taylor. I play Enna, the woodland elf cleric. I forgot who she was for a moment. I don't have any chat inspiration, so somebody inspire me, please. Please.
And Enna might need it because Enna is sort of getting some FaceTime with this
I'm
weird
with the
monster.
tentacle monster.
Yeah. All of that having been said, friends, I am Pixel, your friendly maniacal dungeon master today. I will be everything and everyone else, including Galrathok, the weird interplanar beast. You can find me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/AegisViner, which, congratulations, here you are. You did it. Well done. You solved my Find AOA's D&D stream puzzle. And you can give yourself inspiration for that and tell your other DMs I said so. They may not have to listen to me, though. Anyway, I do the streams here. We have 2 campaigns going on that alternate every Friday. Next week, we will be back with Curse of Strahd, which is progressing quite well. Last week, we had a real banger of an episode. Some crazy things happened. And Bonus Mom decapitated someone is really the highlight there. But he absolutely had it coming. And then we will be back again with this campaign on the alternate week after that, and so on and so forth until we wrap things up. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/HammerandPixel. I've been playing a ton of Minecraft over there lately. We have a new community realm that we have been running with folks with, and we're having some inspirations going out here, and I'm trying to keep up. So, hang on, everyone. Who did we miss? We got... Okay. I2D2 in size. Okay, cool. Anyway, yeah, so that's me. You can find me in those places. And... Oh, you meant Solomon, right? Because Silas already had it, right? Am I wrong?
I did. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
told you I was doing awesome today.
All good, no worries. Anyway, so
Okay,
you can
well,
find me
I
here.
don't have any.
in
Does somebody
Twitch.tv.
have some they want to throw
someone got you.
around?
We are stocking
Now
up,
you do.
everybody.
Oh, yay! Thank
We are
you.
stocking
thank
up.
you.
Other than I think maybe Enna, everyone's locked and loaded. No, yeah. Oh wait, we also had 2 people hit Solomon, so I'm gonna give that other one to Enna, and then I don't have a
Thank
mod
you.
to
Thank
hand that
you.
back. Stand by, everyone. I need to get this up anyway, probably.
I'm very grateful for the chat inspiration you have sent me. Thank
Huzzah.
you.
So anyway, thanks for those inspirations.
No problem.
I'm also here at Hammer and Pixel and AOA. That's where you find me. And as soon as I finish refunding those points to... No, I actually don't need to refund anybody. We just had to give it to Enna, so we're good. But I'll have that up in case I need. All right, great. Well, without further ado, when last we left our heroes stood in the center of the Star Chamber, over the fallen body of Sir Anglum, one of the Knights of 3 Roses, known as the Tear Knight, and the interdimensional brain crab, which had been driving him like a meat mecha They decided not to jump into the pulsating void at one end of the chamber and instead opted to investigate the other outer rooms of this enemy stronghold to search for intelligence and loot. They discovered a map in one room indicating troop movements and battle plans, showing that Lord Saxton did not, in fact, plan to attack Castle Wren directly, as our heroes had hitherto been anticipating, but rather planned to attack the civilians at Gravesford to control an important strategic location for getting supplies in and out of Castle Wren, as well as to attempt to break the spirit of the resistance among the civilian populace of Bedegar. Solomon investigated a bedchamber along the outer wall of the star-shaped building, but was interrupted, as were those investigating the map and anywhere else, when Shanty accidentally set off a room full of mimics pretending to be furniture by trying to take the jewel-encrusted cups sitting on the table. A fierce battle ensued, with our heroes being hampered by the small doorway, narrow halls, and oddly shaped rooms of the Star Chamber. It was a vicious fight, with several of our heroes taking significant damage. Actually, I think more damage than they took from Sir Anglum, who's supposed to be the boss around here. After the fight, which they all survived, they did manage to gather 5 goblets worth 250 gold pieces each, and decided to maybe stick together this time as they explored the rest of these chambers. In the northwest corner, they discovered a strange being, a bipedal creature with tentacles coming out of its mouth and claws for hands. They spoke to the being, which stated that it could share information with them in exchange for freeing it. Our heroes were mistrustful and asked for some information to prove its worth, and it spoke to Enna, indicating to her that it knew where, quote, he was, and that he was in the woad not far from here. And that is where we left off. With it being unclear precisely who was being referenced, and with our heroes debating freeing the strange being in exchange for more information, along with Roz trying to bargain with it to get something for nothing more than the promise of a song. So, that is where we begin, friends. I'm going to pop back over to our map so that you can all see Zoidberg-looking crab monster. I think, it's a much more horrifying-looking Zoidberg. Let's see. Oh, I do have a
Zoidberg before evolution.
So, that is where we are at, friends. So the last thing that we left off with was Roz attempting to talk to the creature, but I'm going to sort of let folks jump in as they will here. It has been like a month since we played, so it may not entirely be clear to everyone what was going on here. So, all that having been said, folks, what do you do?
From what I remember, the last thing it said was it gave a kind of a fucking lore drop on Inna, to which Inna responded that she wanted some more information. So,
yeah. Just to recap that conversation, because it has been a month. You guys were asking it to prove that it could tell you secrets worth learning, and it had offered in exchange. It will tell you some secrets worth learning in exchange for freeing it, and it pledged to provide a distraction to help you get out of here, I believe were the things on the table terms. That you determine that it is probably not a demon or a devil, I think. I think you know it's an aberration, which means that you're not really sure how it is bound RE deals, right? It's like, if it was a devil, it would be hard bound by the strict terms of the deal. If it was a fae or a fairy, it would be hard bound by the conventions of a deal, something like that. But given that it's an aberration, it's much more like making a deal with a human in the sense that, like, it may or may not be specifically bound by those, or magically bound. It could be like making a deal with a human. It could be like making a deal with the devil. I don't think you guys are sure there. So it asked which one of you was the elf, and Anna, I believe, is the only full elf in the party. She stepped forward, and he basically said he knows where he is, and described him a little bit, physically, which sort of, I think was good enough for Anna. I believe it was, as far as we discussed, was an accurate description of what you remember to this person. But it's not clear who that is to everyone else in the party. And then he said he is in the woad near here. And that is kind of where we left off. And then I believe Roz tried to jump in and say that Roz would speak favorably of this creature in the songs and tales that they would sing of this moment, and was attempting to have that be a persuasive argument of why it should continue with this deal, and that is kind of where we left it. So,
Can I ask it? I might have asked this already, but I don't remember. How do you know this information?
yeah, I think that also was part of the conversation, so I won't necessarily roleplay it again.
Okay.
It basically said that it experiences, as an extra player being, it experiences time differently from the rest of you.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
just, like, one of its deals is that it just knows secrets and knows
Just
things.
knows things.
So
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember. Okay, I remember now.
Do you think this
Uh,
thing's like physiologically related to the head crabs?
I mean, they're both aberrations, right? So, it's like, I don't know that you think that they are multiple
would
stages
this
of
look like an adult version of that to us?
Not necessarily,
Okay.
really, no. It does look like a crab monster, but the head crab thing is like a crab shell
Brain with like
with a brain with crab legs, and its tail is like a
Terrifying.
spine. This thing looks more like a shrimp with tentacles on its face and
a langoustine
and giant claws. You know what I mean? It's like a shrimp, lobstery, crawfish looking tentacle monster. So I don't think that you would, like, maybe a complete layman would I'd leave it up to you a little bit, but I think the experienced folk might recognize a little bit of, like, certainly some, like, I would say, Silas, you made a pretty good Arcana check with a 19. You probably think this thing is from the world below, which is kind of like, in the world of Orden, in which we are setting this adventure, is kind of like this lower planes realm that is adjacent to the prime material plane, and is or the manifold one, which I think is called, which is like a little bit like the shadow realm, the shadow, whatever what is it?
The Shadowfell?
Shadowfell and the Underdark in like different places. It's like those kind of shadowy negative planes are sort of, represented like that. Together in this world, and like certain parts are more Underdark like and certain parts are more Shadowfell like in this particular setting. But you also know that, like, not everything down there is evil, right? Like, deep gnomes are not particularly evil, or like Svirfneblin, I think, which are down there, are not like, evil creatures. They might not be good in the same way that, like, people who live on the surface would think of goodness, but it's not like everything down there is a horrible monster. But also there's a lot of horrible monsters. So it's like, and I think you would look at this thing and be like, okay, yeah, psionic, that's a world below thing a lot of times. Face tentacles, world below thing a lot of times. Strange cave bug looking thing. You would think the fact that, like, the whatchamacallits have the head crabs consorting with them says, yeah, they probably whistled this thing up, but they also have had to have it in a magic circle, right? You can draw whatever conclusions you want to draw based on that. It could be that it's just such a threat to everything that even if you're from the same place, you have to bottle it up, otherwise it'll just go on a rampage. Or it could be that, they were binding this creature, and because it specifically, maybe it doesn't like the head crabs. You don't really know, I don't think, how it relates to him. So,
got a bunch of questions about the circle and the magic. I know from my Detect Magic that it's conjuration, I believe.
Right. I think we discussed, I think it's like conjuration and abjuration, which is like...
Is it something where, like, this is going to block spells coming in that, and is it something where I could, like, scrape it with my foot and break it? Or is it more like a dispel magic thing? And then on top of that, does this thing seem bound inside of it, like it's locked in place, or can it, like, move around?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I think it looks more like the kind of magic circles you see in media where, yes, you think destroying the runes on the outside of it, like with your foot or something, or even really necessarily throwing anything physical through the barrier would probably break the magic there. I think it's not like bound, as in it's like invisibly held in one position. I think it's like able to move around inside the thing, but it's clear that it just can't push through like the barrier of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for it would be an impossible, impassable barrier. But you probably also think for you guys, you actually could break that barrier with any physical object.
Okay.
Or spell. And I think your spell energy would go in. I don't think it has any spells that can come out other than it's just like telekinetic communication thing.
Okay. I'm going to like reach past Anna and just like slide the door closed and just go, okay, guys, sidebar real quick. If we free this thing, the jig is up. They know we were here. We might be able to throw Anglin in the portal and get away with not being noticed, but if we free this thing, they know for sure we've been fucking around in here. Now, is that something we want?
Yes.
Okay.
It knows that we've been here, so yeah,
That's
it
true.
might
It
actually
could tell
be-
on us.
Yeah, well, and they
Yeah.
obviously have some way of coercing it, right?
We could also throw the bodies of those things in there with it.
I
Whether we
agree.
let it free or not, if they find the bodies in there and the creature gone, they might think someone was playing around.
Or
That
perhaps
is true.
they will accuse Anglim's death on this creature.
Yes. I voted that we let the creature go. If it does not kill us, it will help us. And what else do we have? And we'd better move quickly. Our time is going short.
Can I just
I would
say,
like to,
Agreed.
I would like to reopen the door and say to the creature, we've decided that we're probably going to let you free. However, if possible, I'd like you to answer one question from each person here. If it's of your ability to answer, that's okay. If not, we'll have to deal with that when it comes.
Make a perception check.
Perception? Was that a perception?
Yes, perception check.
Gotcha. Oh, that's high
I'm
for
sorry.
me. 18.
I meant persuasion, but you can use that 18
Oh.
and just to use the same roll and add your other mod.
Got you. That would be a dirty 20.
30-20. Okay.
drive a hard bargain. Very well.
I'm going to turn and I say, who's first?
Solomon's gonna walk up to it and say, "What are your plans for once you're free?"
I was trapped here.
You might have to adjust your voice modulator. It's a little hard to understand.
Okay, hang on 1 second.
How's that?
Way
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
So, I was trapped here by a human warlock in league with the brain crabs. I want to exact revenge.
I guess perception check?
I think that would be insight.
More like insight.
Yeah, I think it's insight. What are you trying to see? Are you trying to see, is he telling the truth? Do I believe this? Is that the kind of vibe? Because that would be insight.
Well, yeah, I'll do an insight, but I guess what I'm trying to do is figure out if that's the only thing it has in plan or it has something else too.
Yeah, still an insight check. 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with an 18, what other insight checks have you gotten on this guy? We've got a nat 20 Arcana from Roz, 22 insight from Jesse. Yeah, I think with those pretty good insight scores on this guy, you feel like that it is that's like the main thing on its mind. You're looking at this thing, and you're like, okay, it's been trapped here, right? And it's been summoned and trapped. Like it was minding its own business back home at like the world below, and they whistled it up here. It could get up to some shenanigans possibly when it's done doing the thing, but it doesn't have any plans yet. I think you're looking at this thing. It's like, well, I've been stuck here for God knows how long, right? And I have one thing on my mind, which is sticking it to whoever did this to me. But you're not totally sure what happens after that point, right?
Okay.
But I don't think you have a sense that it has the ulterior plans. Like, I'm going to lie to them and tell them that this is my goal, but really I have this other like stuff I can do once I'm done with that. It's like it may find itself free after that point, and decide to go do other stuff, but it's not like that's not a plan that it has at this point.
Well, that's my question.
All right, who's next?
Perdita steps forward and she says, I represent the Baron of Bedegar, who is attempting to get back to his throne. And I want you to know that what has happened to you had nothing to do with him. My question to you is, because you say that your times are different and you see many things because of that, do you know what that void at the end of the hall is for or where it goes?
If some of you can't think of questions, we might be able to use our questions to figure out how to screw with the Star Chamber.
Did I not ask a question? Did you not hear me?
I heard your question.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
researching
yeah.
what the creature knows.
Oh, all right. I wondered when you said
Sorry.
what
Yeah,
you
I'm
said.
giving you one sec because I was trying to see a couple
It's
of
like,
things. There was
what
Well,
does
that's
this
okay, but
thing
when
know?
Beast spoke
Yeah.
it through me.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
you got
I was
sassy with the
looking into.
monster. Did you hear me, monster?
Excuse me, I'm talking to you.
No, that's a
And
great
cat
idea,
snap.
Beast. Thank
Did
you.
Cobean snap?
I don't know precisely what it does. It leads somewhere on this plane. It hurts when they go through.
Yes. Thank you so very much. I appreciate your honesty, and I hope that when you are free, that you will have peace.
And Shanty's going to go ahead and step up, and she's going to ask, so you've been here for a while. Have you overheard anyone talking about any weaknesses or anything that's lacking that they need? Maybe something we can exploit to our own gain?
Saxton is a proud man. And like all prideful men, he overestimates himself.
That's fair. How would you say he's overestimating himself? I guess that's 2 questions. Does that count? Can I ask a follow-up question?
The deal was 1 question each.
I tried. Thank you.
All right, Anna's gonna step up now. She's gonna say, "So we're gonna free you, and you will give me more information. That was our deal. Does he know where I am?"
Little elf, he has no idea you're coming.
All right, Anna steps away.
Roz steps forward. Can you remind me of the creature's name?
Galrathok.
Golrathok. Wise Golrathok, I shall sing your name in the tales of Hiskers. My question to you, help me achieve greatness, and by my account, your name will be as equally great. What is Saxton's greatest, or what is the greatest fear of the Knights of the Rose?
People knowing what lives in their head.
Thank you, wise Golrathak.
Silas steps forward. I only need one thing. I need a name. Who killed a lion, the great wizard of the Great Woad, and my father?
An elf. Ithranel Lucan.
Thank you. And then I'm going to cast Prestidigitation and wipe the runes away from the floor, breaking the magic circle. And I'm going to trust that this thing doesn't snatch my head off.
Roz is going to deeply bow and sort of step to the side.
Perdita will do likewise.
Yeah, so you sort of see as you break the circle, this thing sort of like stretches and like shakes a little bit as the binding is removed, and sort of like looks at you guys all crowded around the door. It can't really get out while you're there. So,
I'll maneuver so it has room if we
Okay.
have to.
Yeah, so if you guys will maneuver, it sort of like approaches the door.
Pixel, when I attempt to move my character, my whole screen moves.
Okay.
So I can't really
On
move.
your top left, where the little clicky thing is on the okay.
Yeah.
You may have it on pan view instead of select/move.
Well, I'm trying to move it, and it's okay. That time it did it. It's the third time. I just needed
Okay.
your word. Okay.
Yeah, and so he approaches and sort of like begins to come out through the hall, and just sort of like squeezes past everybody. Gets to the. Go ahead.
Solomon's, before it runs off, Solomon looks at it and says, Don't make me come for you after all this is over with.
I think he just nods. Wait, hang on. Yeah, I think he just nods. I
He's
don't think he
going
has
to
like
the
a real.
bathroom.
I don't think he has like
Has to pee.
a pithy response to that.
I haven't peed in 11 years.
Literally just go into the ladies' room.
Anyway, so you guys
Wait, take
watch
this jar.
thing. You guys sort of watch this thing wander off around the corner and disappear. And you see that it sort of heads towards the stairs that you came in. And heads down that way. What do you do?
I turn and say, we have to get the fuck out of here.
We-
I think we jump through the hole.
5 gold says every other piece of furniture in this place is a mimic. Let's get out of here.
I agree. I think we bail.
Yeah.
I agree.
Time to go.
Let
Ooh.
us away.
Who looks the roughest health wise? I think Shanty took a bit of a beating. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there pretty okay, but I also still have some healing spells left, so I can take care of that if I need to.
He did absolutely tell us that hole was going to hurt us. I think we need to try to avoid that if possible.
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
if we can juice ourselves a little bit before we go
Yeah.
through.
Cool.
Who needs a healing word?
On a scale of 1 to
sorry.
69, I'm at about a 46.
Your
Classic.
hit point total is 69.
Yes.
Nice.
I
Oh
have
my
never
God.
felt better in my life.
I like how all the guys said nice.
Nice.
I am actually going to pick out a scroll and cast False Life on myself. That will give me 7 more temporary hit points.
Okay.
Roz gives herself a pep talk. Oh, come on. It's just a flesh wound. All right. Who's going first?
Silas would very much like to go last to make sure everybody is able to get through, if possible.
Eldita looks at Roz and says, I'll erase you. And she takes off.
Feline agility. Roz sprints after her. You're on, Hiskers.
Okay. So the cats sort of rush off. So are you looking at these other rooms? Is that what I'm understanding?
Oh,
Or
I think that
are you headed for the?
Oh,
Silas
sorry.
told
Is
us
this
to go
this is the
through.
portal?
Yeah,
right?
this is the portal room down here in the middle. And this
Oh.
is like you can't just go through the wall there. Like this
You
is
can
a
hop
wall.
off
You
the
can
bridge,
hop
though,
off the
right?
bridge. It's like 10 feet down or so, though.
Oh, we have
unless you're-
climbing space.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going. So this is
Okay.
where we go.
So is
I'm
everybody?
sorry.
Let me just for narrative. Is everybody headed to the void?
Yep.
I am.
I guess.
Yeah, I think we got
Okay.
a veil.
Okay. Who's going first?
I'm going to turn to Solomon and say, Solomon, do me a favor. Can you grab Anglim's body? I think we need it. I have a plan to use it for evidence if possible. If you can grab his body and grab the creature, I think you're the only one strong enough to carry him.
Solomon's gonna do that.
I want to roll to see whether Waz or Perdita gets there first.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Go ahead and either I guess
Athletics?
I would.
Or
Yeah. Sure. Athletics checks.
All right.
acrobatics?
I think we'll go athletics on this one because you're trying to like run faster than each other. That's definitely an athletics thing. Roz.
Roz immediately trips, face plant,
Oh, no.
it.
Rip.
Eats it, yeah.
Rip
Chips
him
Okay,
and
I
tooth.
think Perdita.
Cats always
does-
land on their face.
Perdita does not look for back at all. She just goes through the void.
Okay, Perdita, please
Yes.
make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. I rolled the nat 1 on that.
Oh no.
I am immediately
no.
going to use my chat inspiration.
Okay. We'll take the chat inspiration off there.
Yes, we will. And I will try again. Oh, so much
Ooh.
better. I rolled a 5.
Okay. Yeah, so Perdita, I think you are like looking back at Roz, sort of like grinning or something as at having won, and the gravity of this thing actually like whips you off your feet and you are sucked into the void. Who's next?
I think if Roz could pick herself up fast enough and spring after Perdita, she would.
Okay. Yeah,
Who
if no one
was
else
the-
is that eager to get in there, then you can, sure.
Here we go. So con save.
Con save.
I'm gonna burn chat inspiration. Roll with advantage. I think I'm gonna need it. Oh, 21. Okay.
21. Okay.
Nice.
And I'm dead.
Who's next?
I guess
Uh.
Solomon's gonna lug the bodies through the portal.
Okay. And you're getting both the brain crab and the knight.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, athletics check. I'm sorry, Constitution saving throw. Wrong
Yeah.
thing.
Let me find my save it. Yeah, right here. Let's go, baby. 15.
Okay. Who's next?
Shanty just gave herself some healing for another 10 points, so
Okay.
she's going to go ahead and trot on through.
All right.
How are you looking, Shanty?
I'm much better. Yeah, no, I'm almost back to full health now. So
Okay.
Okay, and Roz has inspiration back. Okay. Con
Thanks,
save.
Omega.
Is that a con save?
Yes.
Cool, sorry. Doop-a-doop-a-doo-doo-doo. I'm sorry. There we go. Got a 19.
Okay. Alrighty. Silas and Enna are the only ones left.
Anna just stares.
Oh,
You're not going through?
I'm shaken up after the lobster. I can, but I'm gonna take my time.
Also, at this point, it's been a few minutes. You do hear from downstairs horrible screams.
Yeah, I think we
Jesus
gotta
Christ.
go.
You hear the sound of
Silas-
what sound like guards and soldiers just being absolutely wrecked.
Silas is going to cast polymorph on himself
Okay.
and turn into a giant ape.
Okay. I'm not
As a
gonna
real
get thing
big
for that,
boy.
but- okay.
And yeah, he just goes. And I think he's gonna try to like pick up Enna and just like jump through the hole.
Oh no!
Okay. So Enna, if you don't want to be picked up, you can make an acrobatics or athletics check, and we'll get an athletics check from
Oh.
Silas. I guess I got to look up the giant ape.
I mean, if she
Block
doesn't want
now.
to be picked up, that's fine. It's more of just being fun.
No, Anna. I think Anna's really just like shaken up, and she's just kind of like out of it, and she just doesn't see it coming. And I think Silas does pick her up. She doesn't have a choice. It just happens.
Okay, cool. Well, you'd be rolling with a +9 anyway, Silas, so probably gonna get that. Yeah. So the two of you go through at the same time. Constitution saving throw.
I'm
So
sorry.
it'd be the gorillas. What am I adding to this?
Oh yeah. Okay. And what specific stat block are you turning into?
Giant ape should be.
Okay, giant ape.
I think he's
it
got
is-
like a.
Well, that's like a CR7. I don't think that's
I'm
I don't think
level
it's a
7.
giant ape.
Polymorph says I can turn into a CR7.
And I'm gonna
Is that
burn
right?
inspiration
I gotta look at
reroll.
polymorph. How does this?
Yeah, it's the CR equal to your level.
Not that one.
That's so wild. I'm so envious of that.
That's crazy.
It is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, but you also, like, unlike Wild Shape, you don't get to keep your intelligence and stuff.
Yeah, no, you get
True.
real dumb.
You get real dumb.
Whose challenge
True.
rating is equal to or less than the target's or the target's level if it doesn't have a challenge rating. So I can definitely be a big monkey.
Okay, yeah, giant ape. Okay, so we are looking
With
at
157 hit points, I hope
Yeah.
I survive this.
Jesus.
I think the last thing all of us needs after going through an interdimensional
+4.
pain hole is to be followed by a giant ape.
You're looking at a +4 con for you.
So that would be a 15.
Okay, and an 8 from Enna. Okay.
Can I burn inspiration to reroll
yes,
that?
if you would like.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Oh,
9.
Rough round
Does
for
she get
inspiration.
advantage?
Rudy.
Did she get advantage because she's being monkey hugged or
No.
anything? Okay.
Nope.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, so you
that's true.
all go through, you are sucked into, and you feel your body like being squeezed and like almost stretched as this dimensional energy yanks you through this portal. Anyone who got less than a 16, which is I think everyone but Shanty and Roz, takes 26 points of bludgeoning damage as
What the
you
fuck?
are squished and mashed in this interdimensional space.
3.
You just spaghettified us.
I think I have like 5 hit points.
And
Does anything
Yeah. Oh, I
happen
have
to
3.
Shanty and Roz, though?
yes, you take half that amount.
So,
So you
what,
take 13.
Still a lot.
Okay.
And you as you are squeezed and this like and you feel this pressure and this sort of like roaring in your ears and this sort of like it's mostly infinite blackness, but you do see these sort of occasional kaleidoscopic colors stretched off into you guys are also over here, stretched off into the void around you, and you can't even really see each other. And I believe Perdita was first, yes?
yes.
Perdita, you are suddenly launched out into blinding brightness as you've been straining your eyes to see in this dark void. I guess let's ask this question. Would Perdita, as you're being squeezed, would you have like had your eyes closed or would you have had your eyes open? Like how are you moving through the void? Are you trying to like see anything to get any sense of like what's around you? Or are you just like squeezing it all in to try to deal with the pain that you were feeling?
Not knowing, not actually experiencing it, I am trying to guess. But I think that I would streamline myself. If I felt like I were being pushed, I would go perhaps into the shape of someone who is diving into water. But yes, if possible, I would keep my eyes open and look, not knowing if I'm going to see anything ahead of myself before I crash into it.
Okay.
And also by putting my paws out in front, that perhaps I could protect my head.
Okay. And
Because I'm assuming I'm not falling, right? It was like you would know better than I what shape my body would be pushed into inside of it. I have pictured it as a dive, but would that be accurate? Or did I fall in and I'm going feet first?
No, because I think if you turned around, it would have like pulled your upper body first, like that kind of. So yeah, you went in head
Yes.
first.
All right. So I have taken a diver stand with my hands out in front of
Okay.
me for protection for my head, and I am looking to see if I see anything as I'm moving along.
Okay. Yeah. And like I said, you just see these like blips of color kaleidoscoping in this void. And then all of a sudden, just like you are thrust into brightness. Just absolutely just like white light. And you because you've been keeping an eye out in this dark void and your eyes sort of adjusted, you are now launched into bright light and can't see anything as you are hurtled through the air and land in something land on hard ground. And then in turn, this happens to each of you. You can decide for yourselves what orientation you fall in or whether your eyes are open or closed. But basically, you become sort of launched out into this brighter light and slam into the ground.
Is
And-
that where the 26 points of damage came from? Or
No,
would
the
it
26
be-
points of damage really comes from just like the intense pressure of this interdimensional space squeezing your body as you are like pulled into the void.
Would I have any opportunity at all to do a tuck and roll, or do I just slam into the ground?
I don't think so. I think because it's like I think the brightness blinds you, and so before you can even react or have any sense that the ground is rapidly approaching you, you've already hit the ground.
All right.
So, and what time of day did you guys go do this? Do you remember?
It was definitely nighttime
Nighttime. Okay.
because we wanted to make use of the bat cloak in
Right.
case.
That's right. And you all slam into this brighter moonlight. It compared to the darkness of the void, even the countryside at night with the moon and the stars seems like blindingly bright, not blight. As you are launched out, and you land on dirt and grass, and find yourselves in the center of the Goldstone, southeast of Castle Rend. And you hear a surprised voice say, "Holy shit. What the fuck?" And you turn and look and see, who is that guy? That NPC.
The guy who wouldn't tell us when the guy who we were supposed to meet is going to show up?
Yeah, that guy. Where is this guy? I don't know where his handout is. I seem to have misplaced it. It's probably in here. Nope. What is that guy's name? Hang on.
Does Shanty
It's Shanty's
know?
that guy from your backstory, your druid friend.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was on the spot.
Celibate.
There's a
That's
nightmare going
certification.
on in the chat. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's fine. Celibane. You see the
Celibane,
druid
right.
who you just saw like a couple days ago, who's
The guy I
who's
made up.
like kind of always here at the Goldstone apparently. And you all sort of like land on the ground here under the moonlight. And that he is an elf, I believe, as well. He was sort of like meditating in the center of the Goldstone, and you all are launched out of this like void, which closes up behind you with like a kind of a noise, and hit the ground. And he's like, "Holy shit! What the fuck?"
At the Goldstone?
The Goldstone, yeah.
And I'm still a monkey.
You're still a monkey.
What's my intelligence as a monkey?
Not great. Let's look at it.
it's
I mean,
probably
it's
less
decent,
than
but-
4.
7
Well,
actually.
no.
7
7.
intelligence, 12 wisdom. Here, let me just get you the monkey stat block.
So
okay.
you
Monkey.
can actually understand spoken like
I
language.
think you can write it too.
Wait, why is that not doing the thing I want it to be doing?
See monkey run.
And it's just like limp. She's not doing too good.
So I'm wondering, am I smart enough to put together that this is they're using this to like teleport near Castle Rend?
With a 7? I guess. I mean, 7 is like really, really dumb.
It's kind of grog level.
I mean, yeah, basically. I mean, you
had a 6.
It's like child's
like you're
intelligence.
I mean, you are a giant ape right now, right? You are not Silas, the wizard who has a high intelligence of 18 or 20 or whatever. You are giant ape, like clack rocks together, eat banana, whatever it is the giant apes do. You know, I don't know what they're.
Tiny rock goes
Is
like
the
that.
guy? Does he seem phased by Monkey?
I mean, he's seen you guys do some crazy shit. I think he's surprised a little bit,
Okay,
but
I'm
he's
gonna turn
not
around.
like.
I'm gonna turn around and punch the gallstone and try to break it.
Isn't this just
Okay.
the plot of King Kong?
Pretty close. Yeah.
Oh, Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah.
Okay.
Was gonna say it,
There we go.
but I thought not
Amazing.
Hang on.
to. Quick, turn me into a big lizard. Let's make a movie.
Oh boy.
And we need a dragon board.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna add a folder for Silas polymorphs.
Nice. If anybody wants to say anything about it, you see kind of Silas go and turn around, and he's about to just destroy the gallstone unless anybody's trying to stop him.
Well, I think Perdita is in such terrible shape. She is just trying to roll her away on the ground. She's not paying any attention to you at all.
Solomon shakes off what feels like a hangover that he's never experienced in his entire life, and he looks at Roz and he goes, "What's up with the gorilla?"
I don't know, but don't ask this guy. And he points at Celobane. He can't tell you when anyone's going to show up.
Yeah, so I guess make an attack roll with
Wait.
the giant ape, Silas. Go ahead.
Shanty was going to run out in front. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Shanty runs out in front and casts Animal Friendship and goes, "Wait, stop!" and puts her hands out. And let's see. Let me just double check this guy and put it in chat for you. Let's see. And then. Oh, shoot. Never mind. Your
also-
intelligence is higher.
This is unrelated, but
I'd say it probably works.
Silas, you need to make a concentration check, which you probably have
Oh,
advantage
yeah.
on, just to make sure you. And it's going to be a DC. Did you make your save or not? You didn't. So 11,
I didn't.
13, DC 13 con save to
Ooh.
maintain your.
Oh yeah, let's
ape.
see if I'm even a monkey anymore. That's a 5.
Oof,
Oh
okay.
no, it's a 15. Sorry, I do have
You know
advantage.
advantage.
'cause-
Okay, so yes, you are still a monkey.
So
But that was Constitution.
Yes, that is what a concentration
Yeah,
check
that's how you
is.
do spell saves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Shanty, why do you interrupt?
I just don't quite think we should be destroying this right now.
But it is the way that they could surprise us. Or perhaps it is better that we allow them to come here, and instead we could choose this as our battleground.
An ambush.
Guess avoiding an ambush is probably the best strategy. Well, if he's up for it, it won't hurt him any.
I'm talking about ambushing the ambush.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm sorry, one question. What the fuck is happening here? How did you get here? What was that void?
Are you still
Adventurer
here?
stuff.
Hi, Celobane.
Hello, Shanty. Where's your other friend? Why is there an ape?
Oh, this is our other friend. He is the ape.
I suppose I have seen him launch a creature into the sky and fall back down like a meteor, so I guess this is
I'm
maybe
gonna
not
take a
that
huge
surprising.
finger and just like pat him on the head.
Oh,
He sort of like gives like a sigh of like exasperation.
And then I'm going to point at the rock, reach down in the ground, and like kind of pull off a smaller rock and just break it, and then look at him like,
what? Okay. No one has yet explained to me what is happening and why you're here. You flew out of a strange rift that opened in the space.
Yes. And before we were here, we were inside of Bedegar.
We went to go explore the Star Chamber. And we found a way out that brought us here.
Perdita slowly climbs to her feet. A better question is, why are you here, and have you seen anyone else appear in such a way? I find it very curious that something that leads straight from Saxton to here finds you waiting.
This is the second time you people have shown up unannounced in a place that I am, accusing me of doing things wrong. I don't care for it.
I am not accusing you. You ask a question of us, and I am asking a question of you.
I guard these stones.
We fell into a hole, and we ended up here, and we have no idea how it happened, and it hurt. I repeat the second part of my question for your contemplation, kind sir. Have you seen anyone else appear in such a way? Perhaps Lord Saxton or some of his knights?
No. These stones are relics of the Empire long ago. Fallen to ruin. It is believed they used them as waypoints for quickly transporting themselves via magical means.
Well,
They often
someone has-
are found at the convergence of various magical lines of power that flow through the land.
Well, someone has put them back to work, because that is exactly what happened to us. We were transported from Bedegar to here, and might I add, very painfully.
Solomon holds up the head crab and he goes, "You wouldn't happen to have one of these in your skull, would you?"
Saints above, what the fuck?
I guess that's a no.
It's a last
know
minute
where
break.
We can cook it.
I mean, I'm down to eat it if you all are.
the monkey
Do
would like
you
to make
have
an
the
insight
body?
check.
Okay, you can make an insight check with the monkey's wisdom.
That's an 11.
That's an 11. I mean,
Does
no,
he
you
still
don't
have,
think that he has a crab in his head with an 11?
Cool.
Does he have the body? Did the body make it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the body's made it. I don't think it's
Is
useful
it?
to
It's
vaporize
not
them.
crushed beyond belief, is it?
No, they're fine. I'm not gonna
Great.
vaporize the bodies via DM fiat. I think that's kind of pointless.
Solomon's over here looking at it. He's got it by like the spine tail or whatever. He's like waving it back and forth.
Yeah, and it's sort of like spattering what's left of its weird Icarus blood onto the ground. What is that?
Some type of head crab.
Head crab? It looks like a brain and a spinal cord. Where did you get that?
From a head.
Same difference. I tried to stomp on, well, this guy's head, pointing at the other body, at his other arm that's headless, and it sort of exploded out of its cranium.
Yeah, and you also see that the body of Sir Anglem moves unnaturally a little bit in the sense that it doesn't have a spine anymore, because its spine was basically eaten. Its spine and its skull pretty much were eaten and replaced by that crap. So that spine that's like the tail of the thing was operating. So it's like the body doesn't have that like central supports pillar. So it like, the rib cage is still sort of there, but like the shoulders aren't really attached to the rib cage, right? That body's in not great shape.
Just a bag of bones.
And he looks at that thing and just says like, "Oh, it's an abomination."
Yes, it is, and we think that all the Knights of the Roses have such things in their head from information that we recently gained.
Well, I suppose that explains a few things.
Yes, indeed. What things?
I mean, why those guys are such enormous dickheads.
Roz, he is as charming as you are.
He's growing on me.
Celeban, you said you guard these stones. Where are the other stones? Are they in more than one spot, or are they just here?
Yes, there are similar stones. There's one in Dalrath, I believe, between Wend and Chard. There's another one in the Grey Waste, west of the ruins of the Floating Pyramid. There's one in Tor, in the woods near Orlane. There may be others across the world, I don't know. There's some down in the Protectorate of Zil, even. I have made a point to travel and study these things. There's one in the wilds to the west, northwest, by the Tower of the Archmage as well.
Okay. And in all your time studying them, you've never seen a void like this one open up before?
No.
Huh.
Normally it's like a gate. You remember, we did it. There was a gate, we walked through it. That's usually how it works.
You should just ask me.
Our manner of transport was, however, quite painful. Perhaps this is not how these stones were originally meant to perform.
Yeah.
And they have somehow adapted their will to it.
Yeah, anyone who wants to could make an Arcana check, I think, here. To try and figure out maybe a little bit about what's going on.
Perdita got a 12.
How do you get a non-nat 1?
I rolled a 2,
Got a-
and my
Oh,
intelligence
that's
is a -1.
It's a dirty
So-
one.
Thank you, Silas.
I
It's a
think-
dirty one.
Oh
Wow.
my
think-
goodness.
I think Solomon's building a campfire to begin to cook this head crab.
Just totally spaced
I
out,
think
isn't
Roz
listening anymore.
is taking seasonings and cheese out of her bag.
Okay, so what I kind of want to do, because I'm imagining this scene, so some of you guys are so distracted that you're beginning to think of dinner, but everyone else, I imagine this scene where you're sort of like, sitting here pontificating, trying to think what this could be. I'd like to hear everybody's wrong theories before I tell Silas what's really happening. Like, what does everyone suggest that it might be? With the somewhat lower Arcana checks before, other than Enna, who is sort of like nonverbal. What does everyone else say that it might be as you're speculating about this?
Well, I think that if Lord Sexton has been gathering things up from different planes, he has come across someone who can handle distance the same way that creature we just met handled time. And so they could handle distance, but they could not make it painless. So I think it was another creature from another plane.
Okay, so that's Perdita's theory. What about anybody else?
I think, what if the portal is where the head crab friends came from? And it has somehow gotten it is because they're so fucked that they've also just managed to corrupt the stones so that they operate differently than normal.
Yeah, so you all go ahead. So yeah, go ahead.
Perhaps the stones are like a lodestone, and while traveling through the air on magical currents, these creatures were somehow pulled to this place, perhaps by accident.
Yeah, so you all speculate about various different things. With a 27, oh wait, Silas though, are you still an ape?
No. I came down from Abe.
You came down from ape. Okay, you're back to person.
Yeah.
So Silas, with a 27, as you think about this, I think what you feel like is happening is that you guys just jumped into the void without any sense of like how to manipulate it. But if those creatures are like native to another plane and got here or were summoned here, they may know how to manipulate that thing better than you all. You think that when you jumped into it, it just tried to transport you somewhere, but like it's almost like if you tried to use a teleporter but didn't put in a destination. And this goal stone, being like a beacon of teleportation magic, may have just like grabbed you because it's the nearest thing that's sensitive to that kind of energy, if that makes sense. You know, so it's like it defaulted you here because you didn't try to tell the void, which you couldn't. You didn't know how to work the thing, like where to actually send you. So you may think that those things are capable of using it to like, you know, move other places or move between planes or something. But and part of probably why it was painful too was because you didn't give it a destination, right? Because you didn't really know how to manipulate the thing. And so it just like landed you here as it zipped you to kind of nowhere, if that makes sense. Because these gallstones are like, that's just the nearest thing that was like designed to be it's almost like you were beaming someone in Star Trek and they just defaulted to the nearest landing pad because there wasn't another one nearby, if that makes sense. Or because you didn't try to send them anywhere, but there happened to be a, you know, like teleporter receptacle nearby. Does that make sense?
So like, so it's similar. I mean, Silas is pretty smart. He'd probably know of teleportation circles,
right?
Even if he's never used one. Does it seem like that kind of magic, or is it more in line with like? Yeah, I mean, are they essentially can they pick a spot and teleport to it on command?
Well, you guys know that. You guys know that. What's his name? The dude you fought at the end of Castle Rend just teleported it directly into your Peloton teleported directly into your castle.
He did.
So that has happened before, yes. So they now whether how often they can do such a thing and how many people they can send is maybe a bit of a question mark. You know, but it does seem like that is a magical capability they have, and they didn't send him to the Goldstone; they popped directly into your house, so or into the castle.
Okay. When I took a look at the void itself, did it seem like something I could destroy?
I don't know that necessarily. I mean, you could have maybe tried something like Dispel Magic or something, but you get the sense that, like, you probably would have had to roll really, really well on your check. Like, it's certainly not low enough level that a simple Dispel Magic would automatically do it. And I think you're not even sure that your highest level spell slot that you have access to, which is what, maybe 4th level spells at this point, would do that. I think you would be like, even at my strongest spell slot, I'd still have to roll for it. And you'd probably have to roll pretty high. Which also makes sense, because stuff like Gate or Teleportation Circle or, you know, those things are like 5th, 6th, 7th level spells, right? I mean, Gate might be an 8th or 9th level spell, I'm not really sure. So it's like, that's beefy magic, right? You'd have to spend at least a 9th level spell slot to just auto blast instant teleport spells out, you know, of like a dispel or a counter spell kind of thing, so.
Okay. Yeah, you just see Silas kind of like sitting in front of it, and he's like doing math in the dirt with his wand, basically, just like being like, well, if we did that, and then, but if we shit, and then just like scribbling shit out. Like he's really in his head, just trying to figure out like if there's a way to get around them, just literally teleporting into our bedrooms at night and just axing us, And he does that for a while, and then comes back to the group and says, "Well, I've got good news and bad news."
But sorry, real quick, before you launch into that, I want to give you one more piece of information on that 27th, because that's a really good roll, which is that you don't know of any wizards in Bedegar for sure. Like, Tace is stronger than you probably, right? But, like, I don't know that you know, even if a lion or Tace, like, would have been able to pull off something like making that void be there. So either the monsters did it or somebody else did it. And I think with a 27, the only thing that you can come up with for a creature that is like a being in the world that you know for sure has the juice to do some crap like that would be one of the underlings of probably like Ajax the Invincible Overlord, right? Who that guy is currently off in another part of the world, like leading a military campaign right now. But it sort of tripped something in your brain of being like, Saxton probably didn't get the power to do this on his own. Basically. So that's the last bit of information I'll give you there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll just go to the party. I'll say, well, the good news is I don't believe that the gallstone itself is corrupted. Meaning that if we needed to use it to get to the Olgan Woad, or if Celebane here needs to use it to continue doing whatever you're doing, it seems safe enough to do that. The bad news is it does seem like we might be susceptible to an attack at any time in any place. And that is obviously not good news for us. However, we do know where they're supposed to be. We collected that information that they will be at Gravesford instead of attacking Castle Rend. So I think that gives us an edge in a place where they might not realize that we have that information.
I wonder
Things have gotten hairier for us, companions. I think we need to be on our toes at all times.
Do we know if it would be possible if we could probably use the lodestones to divert their teleportation? Maybe like juice it up or something. That way it gives off a stronger signal than their...
Yeah, maybe they end up where they didn't plan to.
I think you feel like you would need help to pull that off. I don't think in that something like that, I would think either like Tace or a lion who's not here anymore, like an archmage type figure who, like, who's beefier than you. I think you'd think that someone would need to be able to cast 8th or 9th level spells to be able to pull something like that off, probably.
Okay.
Do I have a feeling like what Tace's level might be? I mean, I know that's out of game stuff, but
yeah,
we get a sense he's like 10th or above.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you met him. I would think you get the sense he's probably at least 15th or 16th level.
Okay. I turned to Solomon. I said, I think we need to talk to our friend from the clock and have him take the corpse and do something similar to what we did before and display it in Bedegar itself for everyone to see.
Solomon's probably about to take a bite out of the cooked head crab.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
I really wouldn't.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
Yes.
Any kind of drops.
Not without the proper
Oh.
spices.
Make sure it's up to temp. Don't want any weird parasites.
Yeah, what's the safe temp for interplanar crab monster?
Probably whatever you cook chicken at, I guess.
Yeah, like hold it at like 165 for a couple minutes.
I
You'll be
immediately
fine.
went 165, but
You know what? I'm tempted,
Just
but
I was gonna say, just to be a dick, what if it's like, yeah, they've got fire resistant bacteria in there. It's from another plane of existence. It's not susceptible to
Hey,
prime material
hey,
temps.
Making
Hold
up
on,
like
hold on.
interplanar botulism.
I am immune to all diseases.
That's true.
Well, you know,
There you
Roz
go.
isn't.
Okay.
All diseases are all known diseases because space dysentery is really
Yeah.
going to mess you up.
Eldritch diarrhea.
So, so you guys are at the Goldstone.
Sorry.
What next? What's up? Are you just like heading back to Castle Rend? Are you any final words for Celibane before you head off? What?
I think we need to focus our attention on how we're going to quietly and slowly build up Gravesford's ability to defend itself.
Incidentally, I feel like just to like play this out because you are immune to all disease. Anyone else who took a bite of the head crab would have to make a Constitution saving throw. But
Done.
Solomon is
All
immune
right.
to disease.
I'm doing it.
Solomon is immune to disease.
I'm burning inspiration. Oh, thank God.
13. Okay, I think you like it's nasty and you want to throw up, but you don't immediately catch an interplanar disease. However,
For
Solomon,
curiosity, in the world where Roz rolled a nat 1, what would have happened?
I would have looked in the Dungeon Master's Guide for a crazy disease and given it to you.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
Immediately died.
The shade.
Yeah, and you would have probably taken some poison damage. But Solomon, in the world where Solomon took a bite of this thing, you wouldn't have to make a con save because the saints and the gods would have used their divine magic to protect you from this. However, you would have had a vision where a saint personally came down to you and said, "Hey, Solomon, listen, bud, don't be doing that shit." So,
I think
anyway.
Roz takes a bite and is like, it's better than the wall slime.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have eaten your tongue, so I guess that does.
Just for some info, IRL, Synapsis said that prions need 900 degrees Fahrenheit for several hours to die, according to
Jeez.
Google.
Yeah, I think I would
There's
have
that.
given you maybe sight rot. That sounds right,
God.
Roz. Sight rot. Causes
Don't worry.
bleeding from the eyes and eventually blinds the victim if not treated. So,
I still have one
Rip.
dot. Oh, no.
okay. So, sorry, but back to actual things. Were you guys, Roz, you were suggesting that you fortify Gravesford, yes?
Yes, we can squabble and imagine anything we want, but the truth remains. Gravesford is in danger. We must disguise our troop movements as supplies returning to the city. We must steadily stock the garrisons. We must slowly fortify the township, and we must warn the locals, but all without alerting our enemies. This is our one chance to avoid as much bloodshed and disaster as we can. We cannot squander the time we have left.
Agreed.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you all see Celibane off at the Goldstone and head back to Castle Rend, yes?
How far is Castle Rend from the Gulfstone? How far is a hex?
12 miles.
Oh shit! How long does it take to walk 12 miles?
Half the day.
6 hours?
Okay,
4 hours?
something like that. Okay.
Yeah, you
I
can
just know
move. You
some
can
of
move
us are pretty
24.
beat up. I didn't know if you
Yeah,
wanted
you
some.
can move 24 miles at normal pace. I think so.
I don't think we have a choice. I think we
Yeah.
at least have to get into the forest.
Yeah, we need to start organizing.
Yeah. I say, all right, guys, we're gonna make this trip as fast as possible, and I say, hop on, and I turn into a mammoth. And I'm just letting everybody on top, so especially some of the people who are beat up, like Shanty and Anna, who are pretty low, and Perdita, I believe, can kind of
Yeah,
maybe might be able to take a short rest on my back.
I'm
Sweet.
feeling about half and half.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'm gonna truck through the forest as a mammoth.
Also, who all has used their inspiration, so I can take it back off?
Me.
I have nothing.
I'm fully loaded, baby.
I actually got my inspiration back.
Okay.
Thanks, Omega.
I have not used my inspiration at all.
So good to go.
Okay, cool. I was right. I was keeping track of it.
Would this be a good beat to take a short break?
Yes, I was actually going to say we're about halfway through the session, and this seems like a good spot. While you're taking a break, I believe we're going to come back and do our final, the Kingdoms in Warfare, whatchamacallit?
Like planning thing?
The party turn, whatever that thing is, organization turn. So be thinking about what y'all want to do with that. I believe the plan was to do a, try to make summon the levies of Gravesford, which fits into what you're sort of talking about in terms of, the other stuff. But we'll finish all that when we get back. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, folks. We'll be back at about 8:35 or 8:36. See you. Stick around. Okay, folks. Welcome back. We are back with some... Let me turn my thing back off. We are back with the Regent of Bedegar, episode 12. And we are going into our next organization turn. So, to remind everybody, I believe last turn you took the volunteer blacksmith's action and succeeded on that operations test, and the only person who has not used their proficiency bonus so far in one of the domain turns was Shanty. As far as I understand it, the last thing you guys were going to attempt to do with your main action was going to be to attempt to, what's the word I'm looking for? Muster some levies, but you don't necessarily have to do that. It is up to whoever is taking the turn as to what you guys do. So I'm going to let you guys negotiate that. To set the scene, we're going to say you are back at Castle Rend, and you are sort of negotiating about what to be doing amongst yourselves. Or you can just talk out of character, either way.
So, what are we thinking, friends?
I mean, it makes sense for us to muster the levies. I guess let's think about it mechanically, and then we can kind of fill in the narrative of how we want it to play out.
Sure.
So I think mustering the levies makes sense because we'll get them with heavy equipment. It'll make them so much hardier. And then the only other, the other choice besides that, because I think we've used all of our different domain actions, would be to attempt to raise one of our bonuses or reduce one of our enemy's bonuses. And I know that we've run through a couple of the benefits and cons of having those higher or lower, but I think I think there's not a ton of benefit that we can gain that would be better than just getting more people on the front lines.
Yeah, I think that you
I'd agree
guys
with that.
have raised your resources in one of the turns. You're at a resources +1. I don't remember if that was something that happened through RP or one of the actions that you took, but I think that's the only thing that you have above the baseline in terms of your defenses. And to remind you guys what that means, having your defenses, your resource defense at +1 means that you have a surplus. Each of your domain infantry units have advantage on power tests until the end of the first round of battle. And I believe that would include the levies you plan to muster. They are counted as infantry. So, and you guys have a lot of infantry in your army, so. I think you took that raising your resources test, you know, to get that benefit before you started building the infantry. But it's been like a month since we've done any of that, so
Yeah.
this is a trifle hard to remember. So yeah.
I don't think we have to roll to muster troops. I think we just have to spend money.
I believe that is correct. I've got the thing pulled up right here.
So it'll cost us 500 gold to levy two, or to raise 2 units of levies. 500 gold is the standard for any regular light infantry or artillery. I think cavalry might also be the same. That might be more expensive. But you get 2 units of levies for the same cost as a single unit of regular light infantry. And I know that's 500 gold pieces, which I'm pretty sure we did just abscond with a bunch of silver chalices,
Yeah,
right?
6 silver chalices worth
Right.
250 GP each.
Right. So I was hoping to get those for so that we could use them for, gathering troops. So if we're on agreement about that.
Indeed. Okay. Yeah. So, I don't actually think you have to make a test to do that. I think you just do it, and you get 2. So I'll need to make another card that has levies with heavy armor on them. Someone please remind me to do that at some point.
Okay.
Before that final battle. Sooner would be better than later, but I will almost certainly forget to do it. Let me try and make a note.
I got you.
Here too.
Okie dokie.
Now,
Okay.
do we have any... I'm trying to look to see if we have any like bonus actions or things that we have left, but I'm pretty sure we exhausted all of those.
I think so, yeah. I think the powers are things that you guys can do during combat against folks. Like that's stuff you can do in the final battle. Features are stuff that you guys can do, and I think you've basically used all of these. You did backdoor negotiations first. No, you didn't ever have to do backdoor negotiations because there's no other NPC realm. The Necromancer was the only NPC realm that Saxon had access to, really, to try to get on his side, and you've killed them, so they're gone. So, but you've done the other ones. You prepared the steeds. You used skilled negotiators in the first turn, and you've done volunteer blacksmiths. So, I think that's pretty much it.
And our defenses are pretty decent, so I think we're all right. Yeah.
Okay, and then I have to take Saxton's turn. Go ahead.
All
Sorry,
right, I have a question.
Yes.
So what we have just done to raise the levies for Gravesford, is that what we are talking about, being fortifying the city against invasion?
I don't think so. I think that's maybe a separate conversation about our battle strategy. Because it sounds like what's going to happen is very similar, to what happened with Territon. When we were defending Castle Ren, and we could see on the skyline that the fields of Territon were burning. Because Anglum sort of led like a feint attack at Castle Ren while he sent his real troops to burn down the fields. I think they're going to do the same thing, but this time with Gravesford, a larger, more well-established population of people, and technically our only allies. So I think really what we're doing is we're deciding to abandon the fortifications of Castle Rend in favor of choosing maybe a semi-open fight in the town of Gravesford. So we're actually deciding on the battlefield.
Which deciding the battlefield actually gives us the advantage because we can set things up, we can fortify, we can possibly trap.
Right, and I think there are fortifications that we can avail ourselves of. Towns in general might have like a mercantile gate or some sort of toll gate. I know that Gravesford has bridges. We might be able to manipulate the battlefield to where we're able to grant some kind of advantage to ourselves by how we choose to let them attack the city. And with our money and the levies that we raise and the resources that we gathered, I think we have a shot of trying, at least in the next week, to put up a tiny bit more defenses on that battlefield.
Do we have a map of Gravesford? We do, don't we?
Yeah. Give me a
We
second.
wouldn't happen to have a map of Territon, would we?
I don't think I do have a map of Territon.
Okay.
Yeah, Territon's like homesteads that are all kind of like
been
mashed
completely,
together.
if you remember, it's been burned fully down. That was one of the very first things that happened.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I think it was at the end of Castle Rend, and that's how you got Gear and Orin, was that Territon was burned. So yeah, let's go to the map if you guys want to see it. This is the map of Gravesford.
Bridge,
so,
a river, that's great.
Well, and the bridge and the river, though, here's the thing. That's the Castle Rend side, right? So if you fortify on this side of on the Rend side of the river, that's going to leave all of Gravesford fully vulnerable to attack. Right? There's no way to choke point them there because they're not coming from that way.
Yeah, they're coming from this direction, aren't they?
Exactly. Yep, they're coming from where that just was.
What if we
or they could be coming some from Territon too. They're basically, if they're going to, if they're coming from anywhere, it's going to be these two directions. More or less. They probably won't come from here. There's not really a reason for them to do that unless they're just trying to flank you.
Okay, so what if we evacuate the people of Gravesford into
and we
Castle
dress
Rend?
up like them. All of our soldiers dress up like they're them, and we let them think that they are just walking into an unsuspecting town. But we will be in disguise.
Yeah, you know what? That's a very interesting idea. Yes.
And I think that what we thought would be ideal is if we actually drew them into the center of town. Like soldiers dressed up like women saw them and went screaming and running into the city center. But what they really would do is go into those buildings where their munitions and arms were waiting for them.
And by this point, we have pull with the mayor here, right? I mean, we've been working with them for well over 6 months, close to a year, I think.
Yeah, so you guys are friendly with them, and they have thrown in their lot with the rebellion, right? With Lord Bedegar, so or with Edmund. So
Yes,
And
we
you
act
know-
like scared city people until we lure them inside. And so rather than trying to fortify each entrance, we actually fortify the center and hope that we can get them that way.
Well, what I was actually thinking, if they're coming from Territon and the top left there, I was thinking we could go with the idea of them dressing up and stuff like that, but have like fallback points and like maybe trap some things. And like if we have to, we can fall all the way back to Castle Rend if we get pushed that far.
Anybody have glyph of warding?
I don't think so.
I could take it, but it would have to be a long rest.
Well, also you
Yeah, I
guys should
think we have a
remember.
week.
Yeah, you guys have one more week. You have one more, and depending on what you want to do, right? The elves. Let's go back to the main map. You know that the elves of the Orchid Court, who are here behind Bedegar Keep, are the last NPC realm, right? You've kind of dealt with the Necromancer's Tower. Territon is off the map. You went from the Goldstone where you met Celebane, which took you on the information from that other person, which took you to the Elginwoad, which you have gotten their help. They are going to send the Swamp Mother unit. The only thing left as sort of an unknown is the Woad of the Orchid Court.
I thought we sent a detachment to them and we got archers from them. I thought that was
Did
one
you?
of our actions. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Let's take a look.
I
think
remember
I've-
we had talked about wanting to do that at least if we hadn't.
Where's
I
my
think
walkthrough?
it was one of our faction turns.
Okay.
I know we got Cavaliers.
No,
from
I don't have the
Dalrath.
Elven Thorns on there. You did get people from Dalrath. You got the it was the Orcs. You got the Unbreakable from the Orcs. That was one of Perdita's
Nice.
things. You've gotten the crew from the Clock, the Swamp Mother from the Elginwood, the Unbreakable from the Orcs, the Hounds of Dalrath from Dalrath. But I don't think you ever did get the archers from the Orchid Court. But I think you looked at the information about the Orchid Court, and it looks like what they would send you are archers if you treat with them. But I don't.
That's how I
okay.
remember it because one of Silas's ability works well with the archers, and we don't currently have a lot.
No.
Yeah,
we
you,
wanted-
in terms
I
of
was
your,
hoping- Yeah, I was
I think it's
hoping
just
to
orange.
lock that down,
Yeah.
but I don't think we have yet.
yeah, Castle
Okay,
Rend
that's
units. You've got Blue Dragonfight, Hisker's Band, Solomon Soldiers, or you have one unit of Orin's Rangers,
Right.
and those are the only Rangers you have. But you
Yeah,
do have
That's right.
the Lancers, who are a cavalry, and I think you still have the Old Guard, who are cavalry. Although,
Yep. And the Hounds of Dalrath.
and the Hounds of Dalrath. Yeah.
Okay.
Although, so, okay. So you do still have some time before that last thing. And the other thing about like evacuating all of Gravesford, right, is that like Gravesford is sort of your supply situation. You're gonna have to know when Saxton is actually attacking. So there is, I think what we'll do eventually, I don't know if it's happening right now, we'll do a espionage test, basically, versus the two of you. Kind of imagine it like a deception versus insight type check. But we'll use espionage on both of your ability on your sides to sort of see who gets the, if you can pull that plan off. Whether or not he learns your plan and can attack you before you're ready, or whether or not you learn his attack pattern with enough time to get you guys out of there. So, okay, I will also let you guys know that he used his turn to raise one of his defenses. I don't think you know which ones. I don't think... let me see. There's like a who knows what thing here. Who knows what? Yeah, so you know that a stat has been improved for Saxon, but you don't know which one. And he was successful on that. So, I think that is it for the domain turn. Are there any things, because this is the same thing we kind of always do, is there any downtime stuff that needs to happen here? We have some things on the table, right? There's the situation with that spy, which we've kind of set out a plan. I don't know if anything changes or happens there. There's any conversations you guys want to have with Edmund or any of the other NPCs. You have a lot of them at your disposal. I don't know if there's anything important anyone wants to do. There's Enna and Twilight. I don't know if you have any follow-up stuff that you want to talk to her about. Fully up to you guys what we do, or we can jump into when you're headed off to the Wood of the Orchid Court. So,
would I have time to research any spells?
Research spells. Are you talking about the like the stuff?
Necromancer's book?
Necromancer's book I looked at. It's actually a spell that's not in any of those.
Okay.
It's only first level.
What is the spell?
Silvery Barbs.
Silvery Barbs. I'm gonna be honest. I've seen people do some real bullshit with silvery barbs, so I'm gonna say no. Unless because you don't have a spell book that has it, I am gonna say I don't think there's an easy way for you to get your hands on it.
Okay. I would like to, if possible, put feelers out for that name
Yeah.
I was given from Gultharak. Dang, what is his name? Not Alfred
Lurken?
Pennyworth. I'm trying to.
Something
The leader of the clock.
Well, okay, so the leader of the clock is the woman,
Oh, I'm sorry.
but the guy that
connection
you've been
with the
working
clock.
with. Okay, so Willoughby Twobuckle is the guy. Karina Jarvis. No, not Karina. Is it?
No, it's a Honeycut.
Yeah,
Honeycutt,
Zola Honeycutt.
yeah.
Zola Honeycutt is the leader of the clock, which I don't know. There's
Yeah.
her stuff. She's no longer in the prison. Now she's in the clock. And so is Tuzik Funnyfingers.
I'm
Anyway,
assuming we get a full rest.
yes, it'll be days before you travel
Oh,
again.
yeah.
So Willoughby Twobuckle is your guy. He's the halfling rogue that is your sort of connect with the clock. Although Zola Honeycutt is in town too, so she's now like operating out of Gravesford to avoid getting caught in Bedegar again.
Perdita would want to have a conversation with Edmund in a quiet moment.
Okay, so on
Perhaps
deck we
after
have.
they had trained together.
Okay, we've got Perdita and Edmund. We have Silas and Twobuckle. Okay, anybody else? Also, I apologize, guys. It looks like we are dropping some frames, quite a few of them. So I apologize if you're having trouble with the stream quality, friends. If you are, we will be uploading this. It goes live on Wednesday on YouTube, or if you're on Patreon, it goes live Sunday. So
And Shanty probably needs to sell those goblets off.
yeah, I'm just gonna assume that you guys can do that, unless you want to roleplay that bit.
Okay, I was. Nope, all good. Just wanted to make sure something we could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Do we have a party fund we want to stash that, or is that?
I think
Do
we
you want-
did.
Let's see.
have a
If
party.
If we did, we did. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, I definitely had that reserved for the party.
Yeah.
I know we used at least like how many levies have we raised? 2.
two.
So we used 1,000 of
No,
that.
so
No,
levies
yeah,
yeah,
you get
because
2 for 1.
you get 2 for 1 because levies are
Oh, okay.
crummier than other groups. Basically, they're worse soldiers
Oh,
because they're
okay.
just normal people. So they
Oh,
you
okay.
get twice as, but you get twice as many of them for the same price because they don't have to be trained and stuff.
Okay, just kidding. So we used 2 goblets worth.
Yeah. So I don't have a list of what you guys have in the party fund. So unless somebody has a list somewhere, I think someone should have it on their sheet or note somewhere.
Perdita was our accountant for a minute.
Yeah, I was, and I'm getting ready to look. It is not in my notes. So let me look in here.
Well, it's in
Party
mine. We had
funds.
15,000
funds, wait.
platinum.
What?
Yeah, that sounds a little light, actually.
We have 500 gold.
We only had 500 left. Okay.
Plus the 6 times 250, right?
So 1,500 minus 500, so a grand. So 1,500 total is
Yeah.
what we have in the
Okay,
reserve.
Yeah.
so you had 2,000 and you've spent 500 on the levy, so
Jesus.
you're at
Yeah.
The voice.
And that's what all bankers actually sound like.
Hey guys, sorry,
Yeah.
I did the voice again. Sorry, you guys didn't hear that on stream, but the people in
1,500 gold.
yes, you guys didn't hear that on stream, but the people in chat just heard me make horrible noises by accident by turning the voice mod on. I have it set to one of my, I think it's like my asterisk button turns it on and off.
Got it.
Anyway,
Such a mundane moment
Yeah.
for demon voices.
I think
yeah. So
Orin,
carry the 2, 3 times 5, and your interest rate is going to be a locked in 4%. I know that's not great, but
actually that's pretty good.
For right
Anyway.
now, I'll take
Sure.
it.
If you open a debit account, you get a free toaster.
yeah,
Nice.
exactly. Okay, so anything else? We have Perdita and Ed wants to talk to Edmund. Silas wants to talk to Two Buckle.
Anna wants to talk to Twilight.
And
Orin wants to talk
Twilight.
to Solomon.
Okay, Orin
Orin wants
and
to talk to
Solomon.
Oh, jeez.
Oh God, that never ends well. Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay. Anybody else want to get anything on deck that they want to do RP wise here?
Shanty wants to talk to Silas at some point.
Shanty and Silas. Okay, so what I'm going to have you guys do is, I think that's scenes being in this. So Perdita's initiating a scene, Silas is initiating a scene, Anna's initiating a scene, Orin is initiating a scene, and Shanty is initiating a scene. Solomon, are there any scenes that you want to to start, like talk, at your directive? Does that make sense?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Okay, so what I think I'm actually going to do is have everybody who's initiating a scene not give me an initiative check, but just roll me a flat d20, and we'll just go in that order.
Perdita rolled a 14.
Shanty rolled a 9.
7.
Rolled a 4. I'm in last.
Okay, so in order then, we have Perdita with a 14. We have... Okay,
I just realized I rolled that. I apologize.
it's okay. Solomon with a 10. Shanty with a 9.
Silas with a 10.
Yeah, Silas with a 10, thank you. Silas with a 10. Shanty with a 9. Anna with a 7. And Orin with a 4. Yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so Perdita, you approach Silas after one of the...
No, not Silas.
You approach Edmund
Did I
after
say
one of...
Silas?
No, I'm just saying the wrong name. Yeah, you approach Edmund after one of the training sessions. You are sort of... Edmund is like a little bit sweaty in his training clothes. And you approach after the training. You can see that Edmund's sort of like bodyguard and friend, Sherrick McTrippy Dipper, is over there as well. He is sort of putting
Forgot
away
about him.
the weapons and armor. I will never forget the McTrippy Dippers. And you approach Silas, and he sort of looks up at you.
Edmund, let's walk a minute.
I think I said Silas again. You meant Edmund. You
over
approach
down
Edmund.
here. Edmund, let's walk together for a moment.
Oh, of course.
Let's walk up to the top of the tower just for a moment. You're sort of sweaty and hot, and that will cool you off a bit up there. The weather is fine tonight.
He nods at you, and he heads out with you, and McTrippy Dipper also follows at a respectful distance.
That's fine. Edmund, you know we are getting very close to this battle, and I know that you have worked hard, and I know that we have become close, all of us. We are quite a... we are a ragtag bunch of adventurers, but our hearts, they are good. And we have all sworn an oath to you. But now, Edmund, As someone who knew your brother and knew your family, I want you to promise me something.
What?
I want you to promise it on your honor. Perdita's going to stop and take a moment and make a beckoning gesture towards Sherrick McTrippy.
Okay.
Edmund, we hope to cover ourselves with glory. It is certainly what we want. And we want to see you back on the throne and restoring law and order in a fair and just way to Bedegar. And that is what we hope and we are training for. But sometimes, Edmund, as we know with recent events with your family, that does not always happen the way that we plan. I want your promise, and I want you to hear it, Mr. McTrippy. If it does not look as though we are going to succeed this time, Edmund, I want you to go, and go quickly. It is all right to leave us to our fates. You and McTrippy must escape. You must keep the Bedegar family above all else. If we fall, it does not matter. As long as you survive, it will still be to our glory. I want you to promise me that, Edmund, and you will know because you are a soldier and you are a Bedegar, and you will know if we are going to fail. Do I have your word? I will ask nothing else of you, Edmund. I will ask nothing else of you, but you must survive.
Dita, you ask a terrible thing of me.
Yes, I do.
You say it doesn't matter if you fall. You know it matters to me, right?
Of course it does. It always did. Every time that your father did not prevail. Every time that Elster lost in any way. It matters every time. But what matters more is a Bedegar. And the people of Bedegar. The people of Gravesford, the people of Territon, they cannot rebuild under Saxton. They will be enslaved and tortured and killed, and horrible things will take over the land. There is only hope if there is a Bedegar. And Edmund, until you marry and provide us with more Bedegars, there is only you. And you must survive.
I promise.
You have made a vow of a man, Edmund. It is the vow of a man and a warrior and a hero. And I salute you. And she drops to her knees and bows her head and then lifts it and looks at Triple Dippy and says, "You have heard. I will be with him as far as I can, and then it must be up to you. Will you do this? Will you see it through? Will you stand with him and support him?"
Surely as all my fathers and brothers and cousins are looking down on me from the high host of heaven riding flaming Pegasi with swords of light, I promise you I will do it.
All right. Then let's go get something to drink, huh? It is not that cool up here after all. And she slips down the stairs.
Okay. and you head down the stairs. Okay, and that brings us to Silas.
Yeah, I think Silas finds Two Buckle, and he'll probably just lead him to like a place where they're alone, as
Yeah.
quiet as possible.
Sure.
And I think he'll like put a tankard in front of him
Okay.
and then slide him a piece of paper.
Okay.
And written on the paper is the name that was given to him. And he'll just say, I need this person found quietly. No one else can know.
All right, my lord. I don't mean to be quite so crass, but what might be in it for me if I help you out here?
How about a promotion? Do you want to be a thief forever? Or how about a spy master?
I don't know. Promotion sounds like a fancy way of giving me more responsibilities. Is there a pay rise with that?
There's a pay raise, for sure.
Make a persuasion check.
11.
I don't know. Seems like it could be an alright gig.
If you'd rather I just pay you, I can do that as well.
Let's see. Answer me this, me lord of Rend. When all's said and done and the smoke settles, and a boy king's back on a boy throne, you've all worked quite closely with us here in the clock. Now, you know what we do. It's a bit of an old Faustian bargain, eh? What, pray tell, is to happen then?
Are you asking if we're coming for you?
Well, you know, I mean, there's always going to be somebody doing what we do. Though, you know, as the times change, some folk are driven to it, some folk are driven out. But, you know, what sort of relationship might we expect on the other side?
Any kingdom, city, civilization, you could think of it as a dragon. Dragon has a head. That would be Edmund. It has the things that keep it moving. That would be the people. But also every dragon has an underbelly. People like you are a necessity, Two Buckle. I don't deny it. I'm not going to pretend like I condone everything that you're going to do. But if you're asking for protection, if you're asking me to look the other way, and as long as you don't destroy what we're trying to build, you'll be safe from Castle Red.
Well, fair enough. I mean, you know, we certainly kept our toes just this side of the line under the old Bedegar. And then Saxton come along and move the line, you know, and I was merely wondering if we might return to the location of that previous demarcation, as it were.
I find that agreeable.
Excellent. And he takes his little dagger and stabs it through the name on the paper, and then like picks it up and folds it and puts it in his pocket. And
I do not want them. I do not want them killed. I want them found.
Oh, me ears are as good as ever, me lord. They hear all sorts of things. Including instructions, I suppose. And then he folds the paper, flips his dagger back into his belt, quaffs the mug, slams it upside down on the whatever table it is that you are sitting by, and gives you just sort of a very mocking little salute as he heads out the door.
I'm going to slip him 10 gold for his time,
Okay.
just to kind of and I'll mark that off.
Yep.
Make sure he understands I'm very serious about figuring this out. And I'll also tell him no one is to know. Nobody from the castle, not Honeycut, no one.
Understood.
And I'll pat him on the shoulder. He's a gnome, isn't he?
I believe he's a halfling. Let me take a
or a
look at him.
halfling. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll
Yes,
pat him
halfling.
on the shoulder and lead him on. If there's one last thing I could do before we move on, I don't want to take everybody's time. It'd be pretty quick. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. I'd like to gather everyone together, including the prisoner.
Okay.
And I'm going to invite Oren, Gear, and a lot of the top-ranking generals, or generals is a loose term, lieutenants.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have everybody kind of sitting in a hall together so that I could talk to them.
Okay. Yeah, I think the only place large enough for a meeting like that would, if you're doing it indoors, is like the Great Hall. It's where the
doesn't have to be indoors, just wherever I can.
Okay, or just in the courtyard. Yeah, one of those two spots.
Yeah. And once everyone's together, I'm going to stand and look. What was this person's name again?
Stand by.
Weimar.
Alice
right?
Weimark.
Weimark. I'm going to look to everyone and say, as you know, Alice here has betrayed us to Bedegar and to Lord Saxton. And in my inexperience, I may have been overzealous in her punishment. However, this person has committed a great crime against us and is responsible for the deaths of many. And so I feel I must turn to someone trusted and more deft in the issuing of justice. And I'll turn to Solomon and say, I trust your guidance in this. What should we do with her?
Solomon nods his head at Silas and he turns to the prisoner and he says, well, let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, you see the prisoner is,
Remember, Solomon did do an act of kindness for this person.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, okay, my
because
bad.
you healed her right after.
Yeah.
But I think even with the magical healing, there's still like scars and stuff, right, from the situation that happened. And she says, you know what? I think in this point, Solomon, make a persuasion check.
All right. Here we go. Woohoo.
You can do it.
Performance, persuasion.
Ooh.
You know what? I'm a burn Chad inspiration.
Oh, dip.
Let's do this. Let's go for it.
Bardic.
There we go.
Oh,
21. Okay. Yeah, I think you can see that the defiance that was there previously is gone. When last, when Silas did what he did, and the previous times was very unrepentant for all of this. And I think you see that has sort of changed. This is a person who has been in captivity for the last week. You probably get the sense has not been treated particularly well. Not like abused necessarily, but like certainly there's not, other than Solomon, there was not really any kindness from any of the other guards. And I think what she says is, I don't remember what her voice sounds like, everybody, so please forgive me entirely if I just come up with some other random voice, because I am confident that I did not write that down. But she says, if you're asking me why I should live through this, I don't think I should. I don't know there's an excuse for what I've done. I took a deal I thought would make my life better. And if I hadn't been caught, I'd still be doing it.
Warren shouts from the crowd, I should never let you touch my feet.
I couldn't hear that, I'm sorry.
I should have never let you touch my feet.
She shudders.
Solomon looks at Alice and he says, truly what you have done to the people of Bedegar is unforgivable. And I don't think I could ever tell you that the people would be able to forgive you. However, I do see possibility within you that maybe you can learn from your mistakes. So, and he looks at Silas and he says, I say exile to the southern borders. Give them rations to make the trip and a little bit of currency. And after they cross the southern border, it's on them. Maybe one day you can truly learn to forgive yourself for what you've done.
Well, I think enough damage has been done. I respect your decision in this, Solomon. As the Hand of Rend, I will let you carry this out. If you would like to escort her with a team to the southern border, it shouldn't take you more than a day. Make sure she gets there. We'll give her 5 gold. If we ever, and I turn to Alice, if we ever see you again, I won't let Solomon make the decision.
She just nods.
So it be done. And I think with that, Silas dismisses everybody and concludes.
Okay. And I think that is carried out post haste. And then Shanty and Silas. I believe Shanty wanted to approach Silas.
Yes. Perdita, add 1,200 gold. I forgot I found four books. In the thing, 3 books. I'm sorry, they were 400 each. So we can sell those 1,200 more gold for the party. So, yes.
It takes us
sorry about that.
2,700.
Okay.
We in the money, boss.
Yeah, you got a whole castle to run, but hey, 2,700 is not bad. Okay. So Shanty, where and when and how do you approach Silas?
I think I'm actually just going to hang back after his talk and just kind of walk up kind of shyly and say, Count, do you have a second?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I was really moved by you apologizing and admitting that the way you handled a situation probably wasn't the best. And it just, I have a lot of respect for you for doing that. And in the spirit, go ahead. Sorry.
The histories will tell you that the best leaders know that they don't know everything. And I think we all bring certain things to the table, but I also think it's possible that my youth and my anger and my fear for what's about to happen may have gotten in the way of some of the more rational decisions. So, as much as I feel that many were disappointed in what I had done, I was also very disappointed in myself. And I hope that, especially with maybe Perdita, I can earn back some trust.
At least I can't speak for Perdita, but I know at least personally for me, today was huge. I mean, you're a person. We can't always control how we're going to react in a situation, and think it's okay to do person things, like have emotional reactions, But in the spirit of that, I just wanted to, apologize for how our mission went the other day. I definitely let some weakness cloud my judgment as well, and it was definitely greed that inspired me to take those goblets and endanger the party, and I've just felt horrible about it.
Are you talking about with the mimics?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, listen. We're literally dealing with some sort of extraplanar alien thing. I think all decision making is up for the table on that. I wouldn't feel too bad about it. It was a rough situation. We handled it. I'm just glad you're safe.
Well, I'm glad that everyone's safe. That's what I was most worried about. Me, whatever. We can figure it out. But just endangering everyone else made me feel really horrible, especially when I couldn't really do anything to help the situation too much. Just make a situation bad and then kind of expected everyone else to deal with it. It just felt bad. So I felt like I should reach out and apologize to you for.
There's no ill will, Shanty, and I think I'll go for kind of the side hug, kind of a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of and say I probably would have done something similar. I think from now on things are going to get worse. And it's best for everybody. We need to stay as close to each other as possible to make it through this. And it's a lesson that Soren, an old friend, would tell you I had to learn the hard way. So I think we're all going to screw up, but we'll be all right.
Okay. Thank you for hearing me out.
Absolutely.
That's all I really wanted to do.
We just briefly smash cut to an image of Soren, the giant owl person, standing on a balcony of some very big stone religious edifice looking kind of building, just gazing wistfully at the sunset.
Sneezing.
Yeah, and then we smash cut back to Anna.
All right. Anna's gonna approach Twilight, and she's gonna say, "Well, that was a lot that we had to deal with back with what we just did."
Oh, are you all right? What happened?
Yeah. So I met this giant lobster shrimp, and he told me some information.
Okay.
So my parents were murdered,
Oh,
and I believe I know who did it, but I don't know this person entirely.
okay.
So I really want to find this person. Honestly, I don't know what I will do when I find this person. Probably not good things. But this lobster man said that he knew where he was.
Okay.
And he's in the woad, right? That's what he
Yes,
said.
the woad of the orchid. Yeah,
Okay.
it said the woad near here,
Okay.
which would mean the woad of the orchid court.
Okay. This here. So he said he's in the woad, which we're about to go to now.
See.
You said you're from there.
Did I say she's from that woad? Does
I think you
anybody
did.
remember? Oh Lord, I don't
Was she
remember.
from that woad, or was she from the Great Northern Woad that like Soren and Enna are from?
I legit don't remember what I said, guys.
I don't
I
think
thought
you
she
said
had
she was from the same woad as me.
I thought she had an in with the Elgin Woad.
Yes, well, she knew some information about the Elgin woad, and there would
Too many
be.
woads.
Listen, the woad is just
Woe is,
the
woe
word
is, woe is.
for the wood. The wood is the woad. The woad is the wood. So,
Oh, my brain.
yeah,
the word is the woad.
How much wood could a wood woad chuck? No.
No.
Yeah.
Bird is the woad.
Grease
let me
is the
see.
load.
I think she's in Allies now, right? Where's Twilight?
Everything is now woad. There is only woad. There is nothing but woad.
Woad
brain.
is me.
Woad is me.
Okay.
Just dissolving slowly into a Call of Cthulhu
I
campaign.
think maybe oh God, I don't want to listen, I don't remember what I said, truly.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's all good.
I'm going to say I don't think she's from that woad.
Okay.
I'm going to say she's from a woad further south, because there are other woads. There's the Bea woad, which is to the south. We're going to say she's from the Bea woad, which is near Tor.
Beowode,
The Bea
Beowulf.
woad.
Beowulf.
And if that contradicts what I
She's from
said
the
previously,
Beowode.
listen, guys. Sometimes you make up lore on the spot, and you forget to write it down, and then you just got to make it up again later, and you don't always reach the same conclusion. So,
All right. Well, JK, Anna did not say that. That.
yeah, Anna would remember, and so would Twilight, but
Yeah.
Pixel and Taylor don't.
Anna's a good listener. Taylor, questionable. Okay. So he's in the woad, the woad that we're gonna orchid. Blah blah blah. But I just had a mini stroke. Orchid court.
Yeah, the woad of the orchid court.
Well, yes.
Say that 12 times fast.
The woad of the orchid court. The woad of the orchid court. The woad of the orchid court. The woad of the orchid court.
I have a speech impediment. I don't.
Okay, so you say that he's in the woad of the orchid court. Is there anything? So let's get this scene back on track.
Yeah. But I'm scared. What do you? I want to find him, Oh, but I'm so scared.
Yeah, I think Twilight sort of reaches out and takes your hand if you allow it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, our stream might be
allow it.
fully going down. No, it's still working.
No.
So sorry for the... Hang on.
I'm just joking. I'm not actually frozen.
Oof, you
The
tricked
stream
us.
is, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the stream beat.
Oh, yeah. It's
I
it's
think the front street
not moving on my end.
Oh,
Oh,
there
wait.
it goes.
just came back.
Yep.
Oh.
But
None
I
of my
don't know where
parents'
we are
internet.
now.
Yeah, so it's being wacky. Like I've said, folks, we do release it on YouTube, and I'm recording this locally on my hard drive before it even goes up. So we should be okay. You'll be able to catch up on this if you would like. Anyway, so I think she grabs your hand if you allow it, and I don't remember what you said, whether or not you allow that.
Yeah, I love it.
And I think she says,
There it goes.
and you and your friends are quite strong. I think as long as you don't try to take everything on by yourself. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to bring my friends into this because this has nothing to do with them. I don't want them to get hurt too. I've already lost so much. I don't want to lose them.
but if, I mean, I don't think they want to lose you either. I certainly don't.
Hmm.
It's not wrong to ask for help.
I suppose.
And you have the best chance of not losing anyone if you all work together. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you and your friends are strong. Your parents, you may not, I don't know, have had much context for this, but were they warriors that were struck down, or just?
No, just regular elf folk, just living their lives.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. If
I don't either.
I mean, if regular folk are all he is capable of striking down, then you have virtually nothing to worry about. But
Yeah.
if not, I don't know. Even as strong as you are, you might find yourself in over your head.
I want to know why, and I also just want him to suffer.
Yeah. I mean, that's normal, I guess. You know, when we are wronged, I think that's a pretty normal response.
Yeah. I think when the time comes, I will know. But right now, it's just a lot of feelings, a lot going through my head.
You want like a hug or something?
Yeah, I like hugs.
Yeah, and I think she just sort of like steps in and gives you just a very warm embrace.
Uh-huh.
And yeah.
Hugs.
Take inspiration.
Excuse me? And she says, I don't know what you'll be up against. But please come back.
I will. Don't worry.
Okay. And she just sort of like rests her head on your shoulder while she hugs you. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to say there.
I feel all gooey now inside.
And we cut from there. Oh God, to some more
Oren,
emotional
who's chewing
whiplash.
a berry.
Oh boy!
It's all gooey inside.
Oh,
I don't know why I said that.
Oh,
So I think
What a good buffer.
Solomon's sitting there like checking his equipment and maybe repairing like leather straps and stuff like that. And he's
What are you
just
doing that for? We completely wasted time. You look at Oren, whose equipment is ragged and rotten. All of the leather straps are like this thin that you can actually see light coming through. All the buckles are rusty. He's got like good berry juice all down the front of his clothes. He's got cuts and rips. And he sticks his hand into one of the rips that has like fluff and twigs coming out. And you can tell there's like a layer between that he's just using as a pocket. He pulls out a fistful of good berries, pops another one. It's good for your teeth. He smiles and he's got like 3 teeth.
Well, that's a interesting philosophy you have there, but one thing you might need to think on, my friend, is that you're a bow user, correct? You engage people from range. See, I don't do that. I am right up in the battle, not saying that my role is more important or anything, because obviously archers provide range support, and he goes on into this tactical explanation, and then he's like, it's good for a frontline fighter to keep their equipment working, because if you're on the battlefield and your sword breaks, you're screwed.
I tore up a stump with a hammer once.
Really? Interesting. And
Yeah.
why did you do that?
It was in my way. Wouldn't budge.
Could you have possibly walked around it?
Well, I had a perfectly good hammer. Wasn't going to waste it.
Right. Well, then, it's Solomon looks down and goes back to cleaning his equipment. And, like, he looks up every so often back at Orin, just like, yeah.
Listen, Tin Can Man. I've been around a few of your kind before. Back in my day, when we had the good stout militia, we had no use for your kind. We protected our own. Now, what's to say? Are you sticking around? Are you going to be the protection that these people need? I've been living in these woods for years now. Raising my boys, keeping them strong, fed on wolf meat. But it's not good for the feet. It makes your toes go this way. But look, that's beside the point. Because you need to know, the people around here, we've been waiting for some show of good faith, of the leadership of the good house of Bedegar, for their name to rise again. And he's taking you as your hand, he has, Edmund. And you got an oath to fulfill. Are you prepared to speak the words and to follow them?
I've been swinging my sword for the people of Bedegar for years now. You may not know of my deeds, and they may not be very well known, but everything I do, every word I speak, and every time that blade leaves its sheath, it's for the people. And now that I've sworn my blade to the people of Bedegar, those who come to destroy what they have made will be destroyed in turn.
Yeah, good enough. And it or leaves.
Okay.
I think you just hear barking in the distance.
Solomon looks around and he's like, who let the wild man in here?
Yeah, and as you look around, I think you see his half-brother Gear, the half-orc, sort of sidle up beside you and say, I mean, he's weird as shit, but he means well.
I can tell he means well, but like,
Can you?
I mean, he's lived in the woods for 20 years since Territon was burned by an orcish invasion that occurred a few months before I was born. And the loss of that battle sort of, well, did some things to his head, you know? Never been quite right since.
I see. Well, he's most certainly an interesting individual, and I'll be glad to have his archers at my back.
And he just sort of like claps you on the shoulder and moves off. And with that, unless there's any final things anyone would like to add to our docket here.
No, I think as Silas and Shanty are kind of like walking shoulder to shoulder, just kind of like, having this nice conversation. Silas is, oh God, and smells Orin like walking by.
Yeah, and I think
just like hits him with a quick prestidigitation to like get rid of some of the smell.
Oh man,
Thank you.
that's funny.
I think as Orin walks by the two of you, he probably goes, "Eh."
Clean clothes.
And so your downtime at Castle Wren sort of comes to a close as you all gear yourselves up for the trip to the Woad of the Orchid Court, and we will resume our next session with that, I believe. So that is what we're going to call it for this evening. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. To all the new faces and all the new follows, appreciate all of you all. And we're going to do our usual sign off. So basically, two things happen here. One, if you guys could help us find somebody to raid, if you all know anybody who is currently live. It doesn't necessarily have to be D&D, although we do like to send you guys over to D&D folks. We could also look at maybe Black Moon is live. But if nobody else has any other friends or folks that are live. But as we decide who we're going to go raid, we are going to go around and remind everyone who we are, who we played tonight, and where we can be found on the internet, if indeed we can be found on the internet. So I'm going to put those socials in chat as we go to Bonus Mom.
Hey, kiddos. I am Bonus Mom, and tonight I was Perdita, the Tabaxi Rogue, and did my dead level best to wring all the heartstrings that I could. I will probably be streaming tomorrow and then again Monday through Friday of next week on TikTok. I'm usually there about 9 o'clock in the morning or so on Bonus Mom 70 on TikTok. I just hang out and visit with my community, and we enjoy each other. I also am in the podcast world in the afternoons. I also will be playing right here on Twitch on Bonus Mom 70. So you can find me a lot of different places. I hope to see you Sunday night here on Twitch. I will be streaming, as will Pixel, and we will be tackling the dragon in our Minecraft realm about 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. So hope to see you then.
Excellent. And Kyla.
Hey pals, I'm Kyla. Today I've been playing Shanty, who's our Circle of Spores druid / a bard also, and I had a great time hanging out with you and with my friends. I am Kai2D2 at most places on the internet, and if you find me on TikTok, I'm currently doing a lot of venting about all the things that we really should have been telling pregnant people before they got pregnant. So if that's your jam, come vent with me.
Fair enough. Daniel.
Daniel can be found in the Bonus Bomb Tavern under the tag of Astral Pineapple, and which is an inside joke, by the way. And I'm playing Solomon, the paladin with the attitude of, if the universe is so big, why won't it fight me? But anyways, I'll be seeing you all later. Signing out.
Excellent. Beast.
Hi everyone, I am Beast. I played Skurs and also Orin the Wild Man. Always a pleasure to be some sort of character who is not quite human. So that's fun. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for our exciting, possibly penultimate episode in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. We're coming down the pike on the closing legs of this campaign. I don't know exactly how many episodes we'll have left, but we are approaching the last few sessions here. Definitely probably less than 10 for sure. Probably in the ballpark of 5 or 6, I would think. So we'll see.
Oh, and I am Beast Bonus Bud on Bonus Mom's Tavern. Come say hi.
Excellent. Jesse.
Hey, I am Jesse. I played Silas, the Blade Singer, and you can find me at You Might Be a D&D. That is my YouTube channel. We just released a new episode, The Gloomstalker, which is actually a favorite of mine. I haven't gotten a chance to play a Gloomstalker yet, but I'm thinking one of Orin's long-lost sons might make an appearance in my next game.
Oh God!
Well, Orin's a virgin.
Yeah,
Orin has big incel energy.
He's going his own way.
Okay. Anyway, you guys voted for it, and the next episode will be the Astral Self Monk, which means prepare yourself for a lot of JoJo jokes. That's going to be a lot of fun, and there'll be a half-work video probably too. So check me out there when it happens. Thank you,
Okay.
And see you in 2 weeks.
Excellent. Taylor.
Hey friends, I'm Taylor and I played Enna, the love-stricken wood elf seeking revenge. She's on her vigilante shit and she's about to go fuck some shit up. She doesn't know it yet. But yeah, I had so much fun tonight.
Excellent.
I've had so much fun. So yeah, I'm excited for the next 2 weeks.
Awesome. And I have been Pixel. I played Galrathok, the lobster shrimp interdimensional beast. I played Twilight, the night elf or moon elf or whatever it is. Let's see. I played Sherrick McTriple-Dippy, Edmund Bedegar. I played so many. Gear Brennison. I'm sorry. Gear Brennison and Two Buckle. So we had a lot going on. And you can find me here. I DM the games for the most part at AOA, Ages of Einor. You know that because here you are. You've watched us. Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed your time with us. And you also can find me on twitch.tv/hammer and pixel, where I play other video games. We've been on a huge Minecraft kick lately, and so we will probably be continuing that for a while. We'll be streaming our fight with the End Dragon probably Sunday evening. I think Bonus Mom said that at like 7 p.m. I'll be streaming that for sure. We're trying to get everyone on the server geared up for the fight. So that should be a lot of fun. And we'll be back next week. Next Friday is the 26th. And barring unforeseen circumstances, we will be back with the next episode, which is like the 23rd or 24th episode of Curse of Strahd. Things are really heating up in that campaign. We are very excited for that. And thank you guys so much for hanging out. Does anyone know? I didn't see anybody list anyone we should go raid, so I may send you guys on to Black Moon unless anyone knows anybody else. Cat on stream. Oh, we got a cat on stream. There's Jesse's cat.
Whoa, kitty!
Hello, kitten.
Certified
Thanks,
feline.
kitty.
On that note, we are going to send you guys... Do I have a raid message? I do. Huzzah. Okay, if you're subbed, here's a raid message for you. I don't have a non-sub raid message. I need to work on that. But anyway, we're going to go raid Black Moon as soon as our outro song ends. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we will catch you later.
Let me tell a tale of a world where heroes walk among us, fighting through the darkness left by monsters and by selfish men. A tale of glory rent asunder, sacrifice and battles lost. Our heroes know not what awaits them, and still they carry on. Let me sing a song of a family forged by trials and woe. On their own they falter, but together